Awesome. Good evening, everyone. I'm so glad that you're all able to join us tonight. And for those of your chapters and regions that aren't able to, please remind everyone that we will have this recorded and on the website. Monday, we can get it put on there so that they can watch the recording. Our wonderful past national president, Catherine Schonenberger, has agreed to be our moderator tonight. So I am going to turn it over to her.
Thank you. So because this was just kind of sort of handed to me just a few minutes ago, I just want to set it up. So I'm going to bounce around some of the questions. I reviewed them and I'm going to try to have it more candidate targeted, if you will. There's a bunch of questions that are going to be blanketed for all of you, of course, to answer. And then at the end, there's going to be that general question to see maybe if we missed something or if you want to share something about your personal professional self that we don't know yet, which would be very helpful in many cases. And of course, Chrissy's going to keep eye to the 2-minute timer on each of the answers. I am going to do my best to keep my notes clear here, but we'll start it off. This one is for all of you, and I just want to get a general feel for the board. Keep those smiles on those faces. What inspired you to run for this position? And having Cindy Spiropoulos closest to my face right now, I will start with her. Unmute yourself, please, lady.
I think what inspired me more so on the second round than the first round as secretary is I feel I understand a lot more now than I did before, and I feel that I can be more of an asset to the members and to the board for that fact, and that I would really like to see if maybe I can help out the members a little bit more from the board side. And like I mentioned before, I think everybody's afraid of the board, and I don't want them to be. I want them to know every single one of us, and I want them to, feel free to walk up to anybody. I've heard that we're pretty scary, and I'm like, I know I'm not Miss America, but I really just thought, I'm a pretty easygoing person. So, and most of you are too. So I'm like, why wouldn't you want to talk to us? Wouldn't you want to know? And I just feel now that I've been a little bit on the board a little bit more than usual, that I really feel that I have more of a way to get to the members now that I understand what's going on, and I can be confident in talking to my members and telling them, this is what we need. This is what we have to do. This is what the board is doing, and trying to encourage some of them to move up. We got some really smart ladies out there. So, but I think that's my answer. Thank you.
Tammy, the same to you. What inspired you to run?
For me, there wasn't really one thing that led me to the board. There wasn't one aha, this is it. It was lots of conversations over the last few years with my mentors, family. They encouraged me and reminded me that I can do this, not to let the naysayers squish my voice. My sons and my husband have been the biggest cheerleaders in encouraging me to do it, and being able to use the skills that I have and being able to grow as a strategic thinker and applying the things that I do all day over into the organization, being able to use that for me has been a huge asset. And I think that's why I was like, you know what, I can do this. And I hear Raven say it all the time, I can do this. And she also inspired it, says you can do it. So for me, that was part of it.
Okay. Rhonda, where's your inspiration lie here?
I think I get it from several places. I know I'm trying to be more successful here at my work. I know that's not the first reason, but I just want to gain more experience to be a better officer for the company I work for. I do also want to inspire more women in the trades and in the office as well to continue coming into this construction industry. And so I think that, and then this little prison, I don't want to call it a ministry, that's not the right word. It's a prison school program that I'm participating in. It's really inspired me to want to do more and get more women in the construction industry. And so I think that's my motivation to keep going.
Andrea?
So saying drinking the Kool-Aid doesn't count.
Well, it could count, depends on what you're spiking it with.
Every step of the way, from being on the chapter level and then being director and now being treasurer on the board, has helped me grow, has also helped me bring other women up behind me. And to me, going forward as vice president helps me to lead our committees, because we're over the committees, to kind of, I had a really great person to lead me, Lauline, when I was a committee chair, that just set me, set goals for them and help them meet them. And, the more we bring the women up behind us, the more we have leadership that are going to run.
Okay. Raven, you're up.
When I first joined NAWIC, my very first annual conference, there was all of these directors and officers around the room talking about their journey. And that was my first inkling that I can do this. And my journey has afforded me quality, personal and professional growth. Working on the board helps me ensure that even better opportunities are out there for those who come after me. That's a huge passion of mine, and especially being given the opportunity to encourage and inspire the young people. And the more I'm out there, the more visible I am, the more I can say, I did this, the more other people say, hey, I can do that too. And that keeps me going and keeps me passionate.
Hey, Rita? Where's your inspiration, girl?
My goodness. So there are a handful of women that have been incredibly inspirational to me in our senior leadership and in our membership. And seeing what they've been able to achieve and the dedication that they've had really, really keeps me going with the idea that I too also have something to contribute. So the big idea for me, what inspired me to, and not run after these women, but run after these women, is that I have experience and skills. And I think that I would be able to accelerate and advance our ability in the industry as an organization to be that stronger gender advocate. And I see a need within our organization as well. And I'd be well suited to help facilitate that and stand in the shadow of giants.
Okay, but not everyone's going to get this question, but I will throw it out right now to our VP candidates. So Rhonda and Andrea, please unmute. What is your vision for the future of this association? Andrea, I'll start with you.
Well,
It's a
my
small
vision,
question.
it is a tough question, but my vision is to bring more women into the industry. We have a labor shortage. I don't know about any other place in the United States, but in Tennessee, our Go Build Tennessee is, it says for every one retiree, for every 4 retirees, there's 1 to replace them. And that could be a woman. And there's so much that I don't think women understand that they can do in construction. And I want to make sure that, we're not as much the best kept secret. Our name's out there more and people know it more, but we still need to put it out there. We need to make more partnerships. And so my vision is more partnerships, more reaching out to out of the box places to get women involved in construction. Not necessarily a trade school, but maybe talking to a high school, and maybe a teacher's thinking about this ain't for me. So my vision is just to grow us as we have been growing, and getting more women as members so they can see the full benefit of what you can do in NAWIC and what you can become.
Rhonda?
So I have similar ambitions as far as the association growing for sure. I want to get more tradeswomen though involved in NAWIC and keep their interest and keep them peaked into continuing their membership and not leaving after a couple of years. I think that's the strongest thing we need to do is hold the numbers that we have within our association so that we are capturing not only some office ladies, but project managers, superintendents, tradespeople, electricians, HVAC, and that's why I'm so passionate about the prison school, is because then we're just a pathway to help them get into their career and continue on. And then of course the Boy Scouts, I'm really avid with them. Now they have girls and boys in the Boy Scouts. That's a great way to get some of our youth interested at a young age, choosing career in construction. So those are my main.
What's your vision for the future of the association?
For me, it is to cultivate a dynamic community that's empowered by leveraging the energy of our young members and refocusing on AEC education. This is where we can become a springboard for their leadership within the industry and NAWIC itself. And playing the long game is really going back and looking and reaching out to our young girls, going back down to first, second, third, fourth, fifth grade, where they're still excited in math, they're still excited in trying things and doing things, and before they get too much head trash thrown in, then being able to say, you can do this. It's a long game, but I think it's a very important game that we go back and we show these young girls, you can do anything. We're going to show you how to do it, and we're going to support you to do it.
Okay. Cindy, do you want to add to that? What's your vision, or share a vision?
I'd like to see, one of my first ideas is like, I'd like to see the membership grow. I know that we have talked about reaching 10,000 members. That was a goal. I was so into that. I was hoping so much that at least every person get a member. We can do this, and it's possible. It's not a pipe dream. It's definitely something we can do if we all put our, you know, our efforts into it. So 10,000 is not unrealistic at all whatsoever, you know, for our membership. Also is making sure, and I'm going to piggyback off of Tammy a little bit and say, we got to hit these young girls. We need to make sure that they understand that, you know, construction is not just, you know, a dirty job. You know, you can make good money doing construction. You know, I know in our construction career camp, we need to keep those going, and we need to keep, you know, all the Girl Scouts and everything else we do. And then I think it was Andrea was talking about it, but once again, the tradeswomen, we got to get these tradeswomen in. There's so many out there, so many. It's unbelievable, but I think we need to come up with a plan to try to get them in there, maybe a lower cost, you know, membership or something like that. But I'd like to see that and make our association more inviting to join than I feel like maybe it is right now.
From a tradeswoman standpoint, is that what you're saying?
Yes, from a tradeswoman standpoint. Thank
Okay.
Thank you for correcting that.
No, I just want to make sure that we're good with that. I think I heard that tone in a few of the answers there too. Now I'm going to go kind of give you a little bit of a tougher question perhaps. And this one's going to go to Raven and Rita as our president-elect candidates. What other commitments do you currently have, number one, and what effect would these commitments have on you being prepared on attending board meetings and association events? Rita, I'll start with you.
That unmute took me a second. So I have a vibrant career owning my own business. I have deep industry connectivity. I've got a great family. They support me, are always in my corner. My career and affiliated volunteer endeavors within and outside of NAWIC are all things that will make me even more able to advocate for our organization on a large national stage and in the small meetings that we have. So my commitments, my number one commitment is going to be to NAWIC. You know, I wouldn't have put my hat in the ring if I didn't value what we as an organization have the potential to do in the next iteration of our construction industry.
Okay, and what commitments do you currently have right now outside of NAWIC? Can you list those, or do you have those?
I do. I have my company. I participate as a commissioner for the Transportation Commission in the state of Michigan. And I'm involved with several other organizations, including an apprenticeship steering committee, now National Organization for Women, that's more of an advocacy for legislative endeavors. Those are pretty much my main ones. And I work a lot with advocating for tradeswomen. We've been talking about that a lot. And I have some thoughts on how we can not only include them within our membership, but also give them value so that they will stay because of my interactions with them on other levels.
Okay. Raven, I asked the same of you. What's your commitments currently outside of NAWIC, and how will they affect your preparedness to serve on the board as president?
Well, my life is my career, NAWIC, the family of my heart, and my health. My career allows me flexibility to attend board meetings and association events. I kind of set my own schedule. My calendar system involves work and NAWIC commitments, and then friends and gym time fit in around that. I'm highly fortunate that most of my friends are also in NAWIC, so our schedules align often, and that's just a bonus.
How did it go this week with your speaking engagement? Did you have that yet?
That is next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday, okay. And is that something, do you belong to that association?
It is a association that our company belongs to.
You can
So-
explain what it is so that people aren't.
Okay, so next week, NAWIC is being represented by Lori Wagner and I for the first time ever at Coverings. It is the largest tile trade show in the US. They call it 8 Miles of Tile. And this is the first time they're going to be having a women's lounge, a lot of women's focused initiatives. So we will have a booth there. NAWIC is sponsoring the lounge, and I get to speak on a panel about women in construction.
Good, wonderful. All right, so now we're going to switch gears a little bit more. Cindy, I'm going to put you on the hot seat first. In your opinion, what's the most important challenges and opportunities, I want to emphasize that, facing our association? You coming in as the Secretary Apparent, second term? Is she there? I see her, Cindy.
Looks like she may have had to step away.
Uh-oh, okay. Well, in that case,
We'll come back
let's
to her.
change it. Andrea, I'll ask you that then. Let's go there. What are the most important challenges and opportunities facing our association? And emphasis on opportunities. Challenges we can get over, I think, but opportunities, like to hear what you have to say.
The opportunities for NAWIC, I think, are to reach out like the tile and coverings, maybe the suppliers that deliver to our construction companies. I don't think we've really tapped that as much. You hear about general contractors and subcontractors, but there's this other underlining suppliers would be a great way of moving us forward. We've all talked about it. The tradeswomen, maybe doing breakfasts for them, or maybe a late afternoon happy hour instead of just a luncheon, can help move us forward and be more energized with those women with us. We need all aspects. We've got in the office, we've got owners, we've got project managers and architects, and now we're starting to get more tradeswomen with the committee. But that to me is, it's an opportunity, but it is something that's a hindrance that we need to overcome, basically, is my look up.
Okay. Rhonda, do you want to add anything to that? Challenges and opportunities?
Sorry, my mouse shuts off on its own, so I was trying to get it to live.
It's okay.
Yeah, opportunities, she was talking about building our membership, and I think that's the key. Getting the variety of women into our association will help us know how to better help them to stay and advance in their careers. So I know just experiencing going and doing mock interviews with some of the ladies here recently in the trades, you can see what they need and offer classes or educational programs to help support them as well. And not just out the general membership, but also just to focus on tradeswomen.
Okay. Cindy, I had asked you this question. I don't know what happened to you, but that's okay. I'm going to jump to a different one for you. Because this is your,
I apologize. I'm not feeling quite up to par today.
all right, honey, I will
That's
throw
all
the
right. Go
softball
ahead.
at you. But because you're coming in as a second term secretary apparent, let's put it that way, how will you measure the success of your tenure on the board? What are some of the things that you'll be definitely looking back and saying, yep, we did that?
I'll be happy to get a set of meeting minutes back with not so many red marks on it. That'll be my goal, my
Your
first
skill sets are
goal.
improving already. Good for you.
Actually, they've gotten better.
Yeah.
I just think I think I like, and I'm going to go back on what's very important to me is I feel like I've accomplished my goal or succeeded if I can say to somebody in the membership, hey, do you know where to go to get the meeting minutes? I'm not sorry, not the meeting minutes. They're not available. Like the summary of actions. I was on the website today very heavily, and I was fighting a lot with it today. I found what I was looking for eventually, but I think if I can help the members learn the website a little bit better, because it's not doing so great right now, but I think if I can help them with that, that'll be something I feel like I succeeded in helping the members. Making sure that they understand what those summary of actions are. Right now we just read them off at every forum and fall conference. Does anybody ever ask? Because I don't think they even understand. So, and I just want them to understand. So if I can get members to understand what my role is exactly and what I do and how important it is, I think that would be a success for me.
Okay. Tammy, you want to weigh in on that one? How will you measure the success of your tenure on the board?
For me, it's very similar to Cindy, just on the financial side of things, is helping our chapters understand financial responsibilities, how to be fiscally responsible. Do they understand that there's tools available to them? How do they create their budgets? Doing those kinds of things. But in a broader picture, also looking at, and after doing an analysis of our organization, we have a very young organization when 80% of our members are 0 to 5 years. Helping them understand that you can do this, building that succession plan and getting people to understand that you can be a treasurer. You don't have to be a CPA, and there's tools to help you with that. So helping them understand that and understanding where is our income supposed to come from? Where is this supposed to come from? And doing those kinds of things, I think is huge. And then also helping our new board members as they come online is helping them understand what the financials are. I'll go back to what I said last time. I still remember going into the national board the first time and looking at the budget going, holy buckets, wait, what? And going through and dissecting it and learning it and understanding it and asking those questions. And so that when our new members do come in, they don't feel so overwhelmed. So those are two very different ends of spectrum on success for me. So that's where I would end up.
Okay, great. Okay, back to Rita and Raven, because you're in a pretty important race here. I want to ask each of you, Raven, you'll be up first on this one. How do you envision collaborating with other members of the board and the national staff like that Chrissy Ingram to achieve common goals? Raven, you're up.
For me, communication is key. And a big part of that communication is building that relationship and that trust so that you can feel safe having those difficult conversations, discuss the things that need to be discussed, and know that at the end you will have, if not a definite plan of attack to move forward, at least the beginnings of an outline of where we are going. To be able to have that effective communication, we have to have that trust. We have to know that we are all working together for the good of the association and the good of our members. So that is, to me, what is key: communication and trust.
Okay. Rita, the same? How do you envision collaborating with other members of the board and the national staff to achieve common goals?
Well, I think that's exactly what we would have to do. We'd have to communicate. We'd have to just come to an understanding of what our common end goal is, and then work our way towards that end. I think it's important that we come at these things from different points of view, and that we respect the fact that we don't have full information in any one side of the conversation. So Raven was right. That communication piece is absolutely vital, but it's also important to understand that there are other ways to get to your end result. And so that collaboration, that crafting together of what this governance looks like is absolutely significant in how and what we do.
Okay. All right, let me bounce around again. I'm going to talk to Rhonda this time around. How would you align your personal values and with the association's core values? How'd you answer that one? Find that mouse.
There we go. Okay. It was alive, it just wouldn't click. So I thought a lot about this one. I'm trying to see where the question is again. Sure that I've got personal beliefs. My personality is one of just truth and honesty and integrity, and I think that emulates throughout the association as well. I think the association, I'm trying to think how to put that the right way. It's important to stay and support the women in the construction industry as well. And I mean, that's our main tagline, right? To support and inspire the women in the construction industry. And I do that on a daily basis. And it's not something I'm trying to do. It's just something that I do. It's in my blood. It's what I've been doing construction for 30 plus years now. And I ran out of fingers. I can't count how many times I've inspired somebody else to take a step out, find their boss bitch, just find that attitude and that confidence in themselves. And I just feel if I continue to emulate that, I'm going to continue to put that on other women, and they'll follow in our footsteps and continue to keep this association alive.
How about you, Miss Andrea, on that personal values with the association's core values? How do they line up for you?
Line up like Rhonda's. I am a what you see is what you get kind of person. Sometimes my humor's off color, but sometimes in NAWIC, all of our humor's off color. So I also don't meet a stranger. And in NAWIC, once you meet someone and once you meet another fellow sister, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to be a stranger anymore. And building other women up, it's like Rhonda. I mean, she and I both have been in the business over 30 years, and you don't know the ripple effect until someone comes up to me and said, you inspired me for this. And I'm like, what did I do? I just said what I thought and what I want to do and what's best for NAWIC. And they're like, yeah, but it really helped me out. And to see, like, one of the ladies who I know y'all are seeing coming up is Kate Lowe. 3 years ago when she started, she was unhappy and didn't even know she still wanted to stay in NAWIC. And now look at her, she's a rock star. And all I did was just listen to her. All I did was just be me. And that's the values that I bring to the table.
Okay. I am going to ask one of the questions, and I'm gonna have a complete follow-up to it, so I have like a double-sided one, but I want to hear the basics from each of you, actually. So I'll start right down the line. Raven, you're up first, then we'll go Rita, and we'll go the VPs, and then Secretary Treasurer. And that is, how do you define ethical behavior in the context of serving on the board? And it doesn't have to be a long answer, and if it's dictionary, that's fine, or if it's an opinion, that's fine. But I want to set the basis right now with your thoughts on that particular question. So the question is, how do you define ethical behavior in the context of serving on the board? Raven, I'll start with you.
For me, ethical behavior in the context of the board is I do not have a personal agenda. I am doing what is best for NAWIC, and I get that information by talking to the members, reading the emails from the members, responding to them, finding out their thoughts and their feelings on the directions we are going, and aligning that information with what we discuss at the board to come up with the best outcome based on the information we are presented with.
Okay. Rita?
I would say that ethical behavior holds no personal bias or agenda. It's a dedication to truth, professionalism, and proper process. If you want a more precise definition, I would suggest Robert's Rules of Orders, because they provide excellent ethical guidance. I think it's simple, but then sometimes it's very difficult.
Okay. Andrea?
To me, ethical behavior is working for the members, not your own personality and not what you want. And if you disagree with someone, disagree politely. And once the issue, if there is one, is resolved, that it stays within that boardroom. It doesn't get taken out. It doesn't get spread or anything like that, because that'll break down a board quicker than anything. So to me, that's ethical, is to do what we are elected to do and try to do it to respect each other while accomplishing the goal.
Okay. Rhonda, your take?
Yeah, so my take on it is that while you're serving as a board member, you understand the responsibilities, and that is to keep everything that is in that board's discussions confidential. That even if the vote is not to the way that you wanted it to go, that you support the board and have a solid message out to the membership. I think that's pretty much all I can think of that as far as ethics is keeping that message alive.
Okay. Tammy, you have anything you want to add to that? I know it's been pretty much covered, but from your standpoint?
Honestly, it's a repeat of everything else. The only things I would say maybe a little bit different is transparency is key, and being upfront and not having the hidden agendas and not having, we're going to do this because of this. It's decisions are based on facts and not favors, and being able to talk to each other. Differences are going to happen. The more diverse the board, the better the board decisions, because you have those differences. And with those differences becomes very good conversation. So to me, it's making sure the decisions are made what's best for NAWIC and NAWIC alone.
Okay. And Cindy, of course, I'm going to give you that same opportunity.
I would say, number one, obviously everything that everybody else said, but I'm gonna say, making sure that we're all working together and not leaving anyone out, making sure everybody has their say, finding a common ground, making sure that, okay, we're not gonna all agree on something, so now we're gonna have to come up with some kind of solution that's gonna make us all happy. And sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes you gotta vote on it, and that's it. Make sure everything is confidential. What happens in the boardroom stays in the boardroom. And then if it doesn't stay in the boardroom, make sure you're not going around talking behind people's backs or making up stories and stuff like that. I mean, that just ruins a board terribly.
Okay. There was another question that was posed, but I'm gonna say it's gonna probably serve the same kind of answers I just got from everybody. And just for the benefit of everyone listening right now and maybe listening on the recording, one of the questions that were asked was, how would you handle disagreements or conflicts if they arise within the board? Unless you feel you haven't answered that question completely, let me know. But I feel like that's almost what I just heard from everyone's lips. It sounds like the answer has been already there. Is everyone satisfied with that, or am I reading into it? If you'd like to, tell me more, then please do so. I just want to make sure I'm covering a lot of it. The other question I had for all of you.
Catherine,
Yep, I'm sorry.
sorry to interrupt. Rita had put her hand up.
Okay, Rita
And Cindy.
and Cindy. Okay.
And Cindy, I just wanted to say that as far as conflicts and issues on the board level, that's something that we want to have happen, because it's through that conflict, through those conversations, again, that we'll be able to come to this consensus piece. So I think it's a good thing to have conflict, to have discussion, robust discussions.
Yeah, I think Tammy had mentioned sort of along those lines too, like when it's healthy discussion. It's not you against the other. Cindy, go ahead.
Well, Rita almost took all of it, but I agree with Rita. We have to have, these discussions and these conflicts, because you know what? Just because you think you're right, sometimes when you hear somebody else's idea, it's not always that. And if you can't, once the discussion is done and there is a conflict, then that's when I said before, you need to let's stop, making it more of a conflict, and let's find a solution. And say, okay, this is what you said we need to do. Find a solution, save some time to make a solution so we can vote on stuff. And then that way we can move forward instead of going around in a circle. This conflict is going on and on and on and on. Well, instead of doing that, let's talk about it and let's find a solution. Bring up some subjects, bring up some issues, bring everything you can to find a solution. So we won't be discussing this again and again and again. And find it so where everybody's happy. Not everybody's going to be happy. That's why we vote. So, but I definitely agree with you that, conflict is good.
Yeah, Catherine, I want to add to that a little bit. I think it's really important when there is conflict that we choose that active listening, because I think we miss that sometimes. It's really important for that other person to be heard. And sometimes that just means you got to zip your lip and actually listen and acknowledge what they're talking about.
Okay. Raven?
We say conflict, and to me, conflict is such a negative connotation. We all have different perspectives based on the lives we have lived. They all have value. I love having positive discourse on different perspectives. It's how I learn, it's how I grow. And I think that is part of an effective board. When we respect each other and we know that we each are bringing value from our life experiences, we can come up with stronger decisions and stronger solutions.
I would agree. Conflict's a tough word. I didn't write the questions. I'm not taking any blame for this group. All right, here we go. And I'll start with our PEs again, our PE candidates. How would you stay updated with changes and advancements relevant to the construction and the needs of women in construction specifically? Rita, I'll start with you on this one.
Constantly fighting with my cursor. Well, as I do now, I'm deeply engaged in our construction industry. It's part of my work. It's part of what I have to do. I'm literate in the language and process of building and design, and I'm strongly aligned with innovation and opportunity, because I have to be, in order for me to run a successful business, I have to be on the cutting edge of what's happening in our industry. And as far as women across the country, I've had the opportunity to be in the presence of some amazing women across the country, all of whom have very specific wants and needs, and they're not shy in having these discussions. So, for us in NAWIC, it's going to be absolutely critical for us to be listening to not only our own members, but those on the periphery, and be able to offer them not only a place to join and commune, if you will, but also give them that structure that we become their advocate in all, not only in say technology and cutting edge stuff, but in legislation and in advocating for safety and opportunity as we move forward. I think that's something we should talk about more.
Raven, what's on the top of your list?
As a subcontractor, I'm drug into the advancements and changes, whether I have the time to learn about them or not. My contractors tell me what I'm going to be using, and I have to be knowledgeable. I have to be present. I have to be aware of where the industry is going. They won't let me close to Spot the dog, though. They're worried I will take off with Spot the dog and he will become mine. But I attend conferences, I attend webinars, I stay on top of what is out there for advancements, not only in my particular field, but in the industry as a whole, because everything that is done before I get on site impacts what I have to do. And the needs of women in construction, I talk to people. I get out there, I network, I listen, I stay involved. I embarrass the heck out of my friends everywhere we go because, hey, I don't know her. She's got a hard hat on. Let's go talk to her. And my friends are off in the corner going, what's Raven doing now? I was on my way to a forum and stopped to try to recruit somebody because I saw her removing forms on a sidewalk. I don't know of a stranger when it involves construction. I'm going to talk to people and I'm going to learn and I'm going to increase my worldview wherever I am.
Okay, I will ask this question of Tammy. I'm interested in what your perspective is on updated with changes and advancements relevant to construction and women in construction. Miss Spreadsheet user you.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, this is my all-time favorite question. This is my, and those that know me know why this is my favorite question, because I'm in learning and development. So change is my coffee. It keeps me going. This is what excites me. I'm always learning about the latest advancements because I have to turn around and teach it. I have to turn around and implement it. I have to turn around and figure out the workflows, the automation, AI, data analysis. I've already flipped out some of my region presidents for showing the data analytics from our membership, and they're like, holy buckets, wait, what? So it's been, for me, that's just been huge. It's my life, it's my day, implementing new things, thinking strategically. So working, and I'm sorry, Raven, for this being our fault, but working on the design side for a global design firm, looking all the time at all the changes and the different things and looking at it is huge. And some of the things that we focused on the last 2 years in our region is looking for those industry disruptors. And we were learning about embracing and controlled chaos, embracing the suck, looking for those opportunities to figure out what a great person said was, when can shoes be free? Finding those things, looking at the different industries, not just ours. Look at what Uber did to the taxi. Look at what Netflix did to Blockbuster. You have to look at the different industries and figure out how you can bring that into ours, because we changed the slowest, but now we're starting to pick up that pace. So for me, it's being able to do that and then teaching our members. That's what we're all about, is teaching them, keeping them informed, doing our forums, doing our conferences, having the webinars, doing all of that. And then you never know what's going to happen. It's going to be exciting. So
Thank you.
embrace it.
In the spirit of Tammy's qualification of her favorite question she got to answer, I asked the same for the rest of you. So think about, if there's a question that I haven't asked you already, but you know the list of questions that you received, is there a question you would like to answer right now? And if you do, just raise your hand. Chrissy, you can let me know who's doing what. I don't know that I can actually see.
Raven.
Okay, Raven.
I was really wanting to answer the question about align your personal values with the association's core values, because
Okay.
I have always loved those. My personal values align strongly with our core purpose and our core values. Striving to lift others up and help them see their potentials become a basic tenet for me. I feel everyone has value and deserves to be heard. My perspective is there is no one true way. I love positive discourse on different perspectives. As I said earlier, I want to hear them. I want to have those conversations. My theme for my life the past 10 years has been, that's outside my comfort zone. Let's do it. And to me, stepping outside our comfort zone is courageous. Leadership is listening to and including as many people as possible. I believe change is inevitable. It's how we respond to it that shows our strength.
Okay. Rita, did you have a favorite or do you want to respond to the same?
So you had asked one of the others about how you measure the success of your tenure on the board.
Mhm.
And the second time around, should I be elected, I don't think I'm the one that's going to be measuring the success. It'll be our members. It'll be them that will decide if it was a successful or simply if it was successful and progressive or it was a placeholder. And I don't want to be a placeholder. I'm hoping that what we can do as a board is really streamline and talk about the transparency that's in my platform, so that when we're increasing our membership, we're doing it through intention and connectivity and making sure that as we move forward, as a president-elect, as a president, you're not going to be able to hit everything, but we will be able to hit one or two things that will be the building blocks for the next administration.
Okay. Andrea, do you have a question you'd like to make sure you get an answer to?
No, I was just looking over them. I mean, there's the one about how you handled a hard situation professionally, and the way I've learned actually from NAWIC is how I handled the situation. I learned to, listen, lean in to the person and talk to them and let them know that they're being heard. And it's the same way with us being on the board, that I might not agree with where you're coming from, but I might be coming from like from a little right from you. And, I'm almost to your point. I just need to hear it and get a different perspective. So, and in doing that, I handled a great situation here with my new boss because I've only been here 6 months. And once I started, we talked back and forth and listened, then we worked through it. And that's just the same thing that I do on the board for NAWIC.
Okay. Rhonda?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the same one as Rita, how you measure your success of your, your tenure on the board. And as going in as vice president, I think it's really important to see the change in the communication between the committee, the national committee chairs to the regionals and then to the chapters. I think that would be the biggest success that I would see. And I would feel great about that because I feel like we've been lacking with that so hard. The region doesn't know what they're doing, what the nationals doing, or the chapters don't know what regions do. There's just such a disconnect. And that would be how I would prove my success on the board, is making that a better communication.
Okay.
Looking forward to it.
Cindy, did you have a favorite question you wanted to make sure it got answered by? Or if you wanted to add anything? I know we're getting close on time.
I know I did, and I'll be very quick. Mine was the core values. Our core value is, strengthen and amplify the success of women in construction. Not only am I strengthening my own success, I'm hoping to pass that on to other members and show them in my leadership, as secretary. And this is what I said after my conference I was the rep at one of the conferences this past weekend, and I had so many notes of so many things that I wanted to send them. So I was on the website all day helping them get the stuff that they needed and sent it to them. So I felt like I'm strengthening them by helping them. And that's kind of my goal. I remember, and this is a little on the personal side, when somebody left me at one point and said, "You'll never handle this farm by yourself." I said, "Don't ever, ever say I can't handle something," so, and I still have the farm. So,
Yeah. Challenge accepted.
yep. Yeah,
Pound dirt.
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm a little stubborn sometimes, but I can get it done.
Okay. I don't know. I know we're like 9 minutes out. Chrissy, is that true? Okay. There is a wide open question, but I think I kind of opened it up to all of you. Is there anything that you would like to share that hasn't been covered? And this will have to be like a 30-second rant if you wish, or 30-second comment, not a rant, to share, to keep it on the good side of things, if that's possible. If you guys don't want to, if you have something about your own personal self, maybe a little, I didn't know that about her kind of thing, that would be fun as well. It's just because in this forum, I want our members, when they come back to look at this and to review it, let's get to know our candidates. And that, I think that's something that I've been spreading on the social media pages. Know your candidates. There's no excuse. And to have a vote is, to share your voice. And all of you are certainly well worthy of our time and energies and efforts. So if there's something that you would like to share now or convey to the people of our membership, let's do it. Raise that flag.
Catherine,
love to hear from
not as a candidate, but just as a reminder, I would love for anyone that is on this call, anyone that listens to it later, just a reminder to reach out and email the candidates, ask them questions, give them a phone call, give them a text, however. And if anyone has trouble getting a hold of someone, call me. I can get you their email address. I can get you their phone number. I can get you connected with these ladies that are here talking to you tonight. So just a reminder to reach out and talk to them.
I would agree 100% on that. I don't know how to wrap this up, but I think you all did
I
extremely
think
well.
Rhonda has something.
Rhonda, you have something?
I just think it's important that we just tell a little bit about ourselves. If you look at me from the outside and you meet me for the first time, you're thinking, she's just an office girl. She don't know nothing about construction, but that's not true. When I grew up, I didn't know that it wasn't okay to do mix concrete by hand and get your hands dirty and do masonry work. I just thought that was what every girl did. I didn't know any different. My mom taught me plumbing, electrical, architecture. I mean, we did everything, and it didn't matter that I was a female. And, I want to leave it with this really good thing. My last name used to be Rickman, and my father used to always say to me, you can do anything because you're a Rickman. And so leave that to you to think about that with yourself. Doesn't matter what gender you are, what you think you are capable of, but you're capable of anything just because of who you are.
Raven?
So Rhonda had mentioned, growing up doing stuff. My current favorite t-shirt is the Dovetail Dirt Loves Me shirt. As soon as I could walk, I was following Grandpa everywhere. Of course, most of the time I was taking off with his tools. But when I got a little bit older, I was actually helpful instead of hindering. And out there running the transit, helping change cutting edges on the blade, helping repair equipment. I was on the jobs from the time I was born, and I loved it. And dirt loves me. I can be outside for 5 seconds and I look kind of a little bit like Pigpen from Peanuts, because I don't know how to not get in there and dig in and put in my all.
Rita?
So I like their shirt that says "Work like a mother," because I'm a mom 5 times over, and birthing those watermelons prepared me for things that I never knew that I could do or would do. But all of that aside, I think it's true. That's a conversation stopper. If I ever want to get the better of a man, I talk about birthing the watermelon. You know, secret. But what I'm saying is that this is important work that we're doing. This is important conversations that we're having. This organization is important. And what we can do coming up is so limitless that I think that we have to go and really look at what our focus is moving forward. We have to really hone our messaging and make sure that what we are laying the groundwork for is the next 100 years, you know, where it's not just a mainly male or mainly male industry. You know, things have got to change. Our voice is what is going to help make that change happen. So vote.
Andrea?
Part of the reason why I've been sending emails to all the members, even if they're an associate or a retired or a student. My big thing this year, even running for vice president, is they need to vote. They need to know the candidates. When you get the numbers and see the numbers, we have 6,000 women and only 500 vote. It's so wrong on so many levels. And so that's been my big thing with, you know, getting out there, and not only am I trying to promote myself, but I'm also like promoting the town hall, promoting, hey, this is what's going to come. Here's going to be the name of the voting email, and it's coming out May 15th, and just, you know, getting the word out there. It's not just for me, it's for all of us.
Good, Tim.
For me, I just wanted to say thank you. Being a part of NAWIC for the last 5 years, when I first saw NAWIC when they were out at Autodesk University, and thinking this is really cool, and finding my people and finding women to be able to do this, it's our last 5 years, it's been finding my voice and having the confidence to say, yes, I believe in that, or no, or ask the 50 million questions that I'm known for asking. We all know that I do this. I enjoy it. It helps me learn, but then being confident to know that it may not be the easy decision, but to have the confidence to say, this is my voice, and use my voice, and seeing even the transformation over the last 5 years of really coming out into promoting who I am has been huge. And for me, that's been this organization. So my last part was saying thank you.
Okay, right on time there, Chrissy.
All right. Great job, everyone. Thank you so much for your time tonight. Catherine, thank you so much for stepping in last minute for me and making this a really great, productive town hall. You did a wonderful job. Ladies, you all did great tonight. I appreciate every single one of you and look forward to seeing what happens in the next couple of months.
Okay, thanks, everyone. Great job.
Bye, everybody.
Take good care.
Bravo, ladies.